Well, if they can get Kalista, they will. I think that's actually a good one as Maokai. I think more importantly, though, the Chiefs are going to lane swap this game. I don't know why. I just have a feeling. Just an inkling.
We shall see. Anyway, Braum and Twisted Fate have been banned away from the Bangkok Titans. Shen and Rek'Sai on the other side of the map as the Chiefs make that little change. Rek'Sai not going to be seen in the hands of 007X.
They're trying to bait Warlock into a Gnar pick here. So would not be surprised to see either a Thresh or a Maokai taken away as a last ban out of the Chiefs and see whether they can get him on his last comfort pick, because the guy's just shown that time and time again, give him a tanking is a class act, so they're going to first pick it for him. We'll see whether the Chiefs have something in store.
Well, Maokai going to be banned on blue side.
Kalista is open.
She is indeed.
Don't
Chiefs,
do it, boys.
Yeah, are they going to leave it?
So that's why they banned the Maokai, and that's what I really like out of the Bangkok Titans, because now the Chiefs have to choose between Thresh, Kalista, and they have to let one through. So we'll see where their priority lies, and it is the Kalista.
Not going to make that mistake again. It hurt them against Detonation Focus Me. They're saying nope, 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 nope. Leaving that one down. But Siva with the priority pick.
Okay, so they can now take a second rotation Thresh to deny that one away from Moss. I would not do that. That said, the thing about hovering Rise, since Sivir has already been picked up, is Sivir synergizes very well with Rise. Hey!
There it is!
We're not on comms with them, we promise.
Spawn is actually head in hands right now. So excited to see the Glitter Lance now on the Rift.
But what I was saying is that Rise actually synergizes really well with Sivir, just because the thing about Rise is he needs a gap closer to get on top of you. That's the one thing he's kind of missing in his kit. He can also obviously press his ultimate, make himself run faster, but if you've got it and on the hunt to do that for you, bam, give it to me, please. I just made that speech. Warlock, please.
Gnar is still available, so I'd be surprised if Warlock did play something new. Thresh also up right now for the Bangkok Titans. We've seen that they like to prioritize that. Expecting jungle support to go across here, if we know anything about this lineup.
To hide their hand.
Yeah, give them at least one counter pick.
Yep.
Echo being considered here. Ooh, 007X.
That's a Bangkok Titans
down memory lane into the Sejuani.
Specialty.
I actually got really confused watching their VODs because I was thinking, what patch is this? He's still playing
like
Sejuani. And then it was like last patch. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's just still doing it. No worries.
It just fits so thematically well with the Bangkok Titans. They love to fight. They love to skirmish. Naturally, Sejuani, post-level 6, has that massive ultimate. You got the stuff. This is a murder comp. You don't even need to see the counter pick.
You don't even need to see the draft. You know that they're going to pick a murder comp.
The Bangkok Titans are here. It's a murder comp.
But the thing is, as well, we talked about the Chiefs needing to pick people that don't need items. That don't need items. Right now, Bangkok Titans, they have like level 6, just the long range of Mumu. Like, Sejuani just literally throws a Mumu at your team. That's what an ultimate is.
Oh my god. I want Jinx Janna right here.
I'm just saying, they need to pick up Janna because they've already got Gragas. So the nice thing that please no. The nice thing that we
well, it's happened.
Well, Ejim's a really good Alistar player. I was saying, though, the nice thing that they have is they have the Gragas ultimate. So you have a murder comp coming out of the Bangkok Titans. They at least have one disengage in the cask where they can reset the fight and force the Bangkok Titans to regroup. So that's
Tristana also has a second reset. So even though it's not a Tristana level reset, it is blow whoever is in front of you backwards. So bad Jinx has been picked up on the side of the Chiefs. That is, of course, bad Tristana.
Okay, good.
If Janna and Jinx had a child, it'd be Tristana.
Tristana, yeah.
Oh, Diana's still up. So G4 can grab that one if he wants to.
That'd be a beautiful baby.
Whoa, what? Are we back in the hot tub, Froskurinn?
I tried to convince them to give us a hot tub for the finals, and Benji was like, no.
No, we'd get all, like, wrinkly. Being in a hot
Not
tub
at this rate, we wouldn't.
Time.
27 minutes times 3.
Wow.
Whoa.
Too soon.
Yeah,
too soon.
Way too soon. I think next year will be too soon, Spawn.
You guys know what wasn't banned?
Yeah, Diana. I said that.
Yeah.
You were busy talking about hot tubs. But actually, no, I was the one that brought the hot tubs. Don't worry about it. Counter pick now available potentially if Swiper wants to play that Lulu in the top lane. We'll see what Swiffer decides to do.
So what I will say right now is that if they run a 4-man unit and a Diana split push, they have no damage. Sivir doesn't do enough damage.
Mundo does 0 damage.
Mundo does 0 damage until super late game. And even then, he just runs around and does damage when you hit him because he has a Thornmail.
That said, on the other side, the Chiefs don't have a ton of damage available to them.
Well, actually, if they get something else, like a second damage threat in the mid lane.
They need to pick it up here.
Yeah.
Why don't you get a
They've got Tristana that is going to be able to be empowered. And you're right now they can look at an aggressive top lane as something like an Olaf something like a Fizz to be able to go head-to-head with that Mundo. See if you can keep him down at the earlier stages of the game.
Something like a Fiora.
Yeah, pick something up that can grab an Ignite there in the top lane as well. Hecarim or Fizz, both of them can go the teleport Ignite route if they want to, and that way the 1v1 matchup probably going to go quite well against the old Mundo.
Especially because they're so slippery that they don't need to pick up
Oh,
the
it's happened.
escape. Likewise, Olaf can do the exact same thing, so he can trade out his...
he will not. So this is something that
Swiper will do.
Swiper runs Ghost on Olaf. It's just something that he definitely is a fan of. The reason being is because during the laning phase, sure, you have to keep Mundo down, and he can do that by maxing out axes and just harassing him. If Olaf ever goes near farm, Spooks and Swiper's CC chain is just too much. So the threat is already there. But realistically, Lloyd's going to press his ultimate and be really fast late game. And that's Swiper's job. Late game is not to deal with the Olaf. So why would you get summoner spells for the first 7 minutes of the game and then not use it again, versus being this huge juggernaut at the 40-minute mark when you are just there to delete the Sivir? Like, he is going to be the good old NFL linebacker, like, just come off his mark and just see how hard he can smash the mid-range Lloyd.
I actually understood that reference.
I didn't. I had no freaking idea. But I did like it. It sounded like he was enthusiastic. The thing that I really love about Olaf as well, running after a Sivir, is that you get resets on your axe, so you just run, pick it up, and then you say, Spell Shield's got another 14 seconds, you jerk, die. That sort of thing.
Wow, you're passionate about this matchup.
I most certainly am, but I was sort of responding to yours. Look, we lost the first game in 26 minutes. I wrote it down. It's bad. Right here. Oh my goodness. It's on my sheet of paper.
But the other thing I do want to point out is not only now is the synergy with the control mage in the mid lane, with the Lulu, we do have another pause, guys. We'll get you on the Rift as soon as possible. It's also with the Olaf, the Whimsy being able to speed him up, giving him some more damage with the help picks. Not to mention that he can take your Glitter Lance where it needs to go.
The thing, though, is that you sacrifice your exhaust. That's the only point that I wanted to make. The fact that Olaf is choosing to go with the Ghost, and I completely agree with your explanation of it, the fact that you're using that Ghost through the entirety of the game as opposed to the 7-minute kill window for your own lane with the Ignite against the Mundo, but you sacrifice your exhaust against an assassin like Diana, against G4's assassin like Diana, because now you're taking 2 Ignites, you're taking it on Swiffer, and you're taking it on Egem.
Do you know what's better than an exhaust?
Lulu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just turn him into a critter. Deal with him later.
Polymorph.
Deal with him later.
Yeah. The procrastination
I
method.
understand. I just need to see the execution of it.
100%. You know, everything is great on paper. That's why we play the game of League of Legends. But right now, the idea behind it all is without Diana, there is no damage on the Bangkok Titans lineup. Sejuani actually does a lot of damage late game, but from about 20 minutes throughout the whole time, it's just going to be pretty much only G4 doing any work.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But look, we'll see whether Warlock can get to that massive stage as well, because Mundo, this is the thing. We're talking about, like, not a lot of damage, sort of not a lot of upfront damage, but if you if you spend time walking next to a Mundo,
he does 0.
Oh,
he does negative damage.
Negative damage? He heals you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, the Chiefs 6v4. This is ridiculous.
So they're going to need it after that game.
Mundo is legitimately like the melee absorb of League of Legends. He's just this big tank that stands at the front of it all and catches everything. He is very physically a meat shield, and that's the difference between these top laners. Warlock's job, catch every spell you can and make sure that Tristana is hitting you. The Olaf's job, on the other hand, is to actually go kill Lloyd. So they're very different jobs, and we'll see who can execute a little bit better, because that's the primary difference between an Olaf and a Mundo.
And effectively, it comes down to execution again, because you have very space-oriented composition coming out of the Chiefs. I mean, you have the Cask, you have the Whimsy, the Wild Growth, you have the Alistar Headbutt. So there's all of these tools to empower Radier to kind of be on his own, to sit into the back and to put out all that damage. On the other side of that, you have so much dive potential coming out of the Bangkok Titans. You have Diana's reach, you have the speed up from Sivir, the pick potential from the Death Sentence, as well as the backline dive from Sejuani. So it's really, I mean, the win conditions are clear set. Both these teams want to kind of do completely the opposite things in the team fight. So it's, do you hit your skill shots? Do you land that flay?
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, 007X needs to be really careful with his ultimate, because the last thing you want to do as a Sejuani is throw it at an Olaf. He just hits his R button and runs past you.
Swings his stuff around.
Definitely not going to be a good news story. So 007X in the past has actually proved that he's a really patient Sejuani player. I like the way he plays the champion. It's why he can get away with still playing it on the current patch when there are very aggressive junglers running around. But he just needs to always have that at the front of the mind. It's kind of like the Ashe Arrow conundrum with Brahms in games. Like, why did I pick an Ashe?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why did you pick Ashen to Braum?
I don't know. I feel like there's some subtext to this end of the conversation.
Thank you for beating everyone else over the head with it.
Yeah, look, come on. I just
It's
needed
cool.
to make
3-0.
sure that everyone
Doesn't
was
matter.
here, joining in with this the moment on the desk, but we don't need to. Let's just skip through it. And I really like that you brought up the ultimate coming out of Sejuani because it's so impactful, but it's not going to be. And the fact that the Chiefs as well, with the fact that Olaf wants to be diving the backline, they're going to have a spread out team fight. They're not necessarily going to be clumping together to try and get everything down.
Yeah, definitely is the game plan coming out that they want it to be spread out. They want to reset it. They want to make sure that Tristana can use a kit to move around and negotiate terrain, things like that. That's a benefit of Tristana over Jinx. Jinx is very good at going forward and backwards, but not really side to side because of the terrain of League of Legends. Tristana can make sure that she gets the hop, knock people away from her, or set up a little bit more zone.
And in my limited experience in watching the Chiefs play, I actually think that this caters more to their play style, just because use guys like to say it, they sack Radier. They'll kind of leave him to his own devices, so he needs to be on a self-sufficient champion like Tristana, who has her rocket jump for escape, who has her buster shot to kind of reset fights and reset positions, as opposed to Jinx, who's pretty much entirely reliant on her team to not be assholes.
Yeah, and the one thing about Tristana, as opposed to Jinx, is Trist is better at actually hitting the same target over and over again. Jinx is better at swapping it up.
Yep.
And right now, you think that
her weapon aggro.
Yeah, maybe Radier is probably going to have to hit Warlock a couple of times, so probably going to be very good, at least with Lulu, to take care of the Mundo.
Well, we'll see what happens. We are under the rift, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 2 of the IWCQ. It's the Chiefs all stacking up across the river. Things have gone down here from the Bangkok Titans as Lloyd puts a ward in. They don't destroy it. Chiefs not getting that extra 10 gold for the good start.
Level 1 invade.
That's actually really cheeky out of Lloyd, especially if there was a body slam on Spooks.
Lloyd is actually going to get shot there by Radier.
And they want the lane swap.
Yep. So the Chiefs invading here, they're placing their deep vision behind or in between the two back towers because they're checking to see who's going to come down into that lane. So we talked about, the Chiefs possibly looking for a lane swap here to get the macro outplay. This is awkward.
Oh, dear. Misses it.
That moment when Olaf walks into your lane, throws his axe, misses, and then just walks away.
But the one thing you will say right now is that the Chiefs have a really quick double jungle. Olaf Gragas is ridiculously fast, and in that regard, Olaf actually wants to get incredibly low. His passive, of course, the less health you have, the quicker you slap things with those axes, so going to be able to help Spooks get a little bit more of a quick jungle going on here. And Olaf, also a very good 2v1 top laner. That's why he generally saw play when he was very popular, and slowly is coming back into the meta.
Here we go. The Chiefs are actually on the top side of the map, so this should be the EGM special where they give all of the experience of the Krugs. The other thing is I was thinking about a Krug and how a Wombat's been described to me.
You've never seen a Wombat?
To fit with a Krug. People tell me that they're just little boulders.
We're going to the zoo later, Froskurinn. That's what we're going to do. We're going to show you a Wombat.
But they're going to give these Wombats to EGM, which will give him the level 2. And he's going to walk into the mid lane. There he goes.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the rift, Bangkok Titans take down the Cane Toad. They are going to be moving towards the Dingoes as well. So EGM making his way up.
No.
Yeah, no, we're doing it for every single one of them. He started this.
So what he did is he walked back into the lane to pick up a single CS to get to level 2, and now he's on the roam with the headbutt pulverize combo.
And G4 is actually taking a lot of damage here and hasn't been able to clean out the wave.
Oh! Flashes out of the way of Swiffer.
Even before EGM's here, all of a sudden this is much more dangerous. If a Glitter Lance lands, G4's dead.
Yeah, well, there's the help picks. Glitterlance does land. There's the headbutt pulverize. Ignites down as well. Moss, he's made his way in the play. Is going to save the mid laner for now. As Swiffer's down to about 250 health. 007X finds his way in as Spooks is waiting in the wings. But man,
Moss is a legend.
Yeah, he's really good.
Okay, so Spawn at the moment is actually just showing Froskurinn what a Wombat looks like.
It looks like a Krug!
Well, if you're happy with that assessment, I'm happy for you to continue to go for it.
It's a Wombat on his hind legs, I think. A fat Wombat. Really fat Wombat. Anyway,
Moss caught out.
Potentially.
Maybe they go for the 3-man dive on Mundo now that they've chunked Moss out. At least made him go back the other way to lane. This is when Mundo can be exploited, and Spooks is up here.
Yeah, level 2. Spooks with the double buffs here as well as EGM He's making his way, and they're looking to try and just take down this turret.
Wow, look at the respect that they actually gave the Bangkok Titans. So because Moss wasn't on the map, they assumed that he was coming up the lane and said, 2v3 on this tower dive? I don't think so.
Yeah, and if there was one thing that the Chiefs learned about the Tristana tower dive, is that it can go incredibly wrong. See the Chiefs versus Bangkok Titans, Dark Passage game.
I was going to say, it was DP.
So they make the very wise choice of not going for it. In saying that, right now, Olaf versus Sivir is a pretty scary matchup for Lloyd, especially given summoner spells, so needs to make sure that he gives as much respect as possible to the Olaf.
Swipe up.
Spell shield's out. He should just go.
I don't think he has vision on 007. License to kill there.
And he's actually just counter-jungling away Spooks' jungle here on the bottom side of the Chiefs area of the map.
Chiefs once again looking mid lane.
Yeah, no flash on a little bit of a target on his head. Moss and Warlock with a pseudo 2v2, interesting style.
But look at the adaptation for the Bangkok Titans. So we expect them to constantly be pushed up in their lanes. Now, naturally, that's much harder to do when it's Thresh Mundo against Tristana. But everywhere else, G4 and Lloyd both pushed up, and 007, usually he plays...
I don't know.
I don't know why he's between the towers, but usually he plays to the between mid and top side of the map, but because his mid and his bot side are pushed up, just kind of making that adaptation, invading the bottom side jungle and continuing with his counter jungle trend.
That was really weird.
Yeah, he was postured really far forward there.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what Spooks was doing. He was trying to help Swiffer go back, I think, as Ghost burnt.
Yeah, Swiper. Trying to get in amongst it.
Gets a flash out of Lloyd, sorry, so that's very good news.
Spell shield down there as well as Spooks sets that one off with a barrel. Looks like they're just trying to break potential freeze here. Side of the Chiefs.
Well, they have to get it to the turret now. As soon as you reverse the wave, you can't let it not hit the turret. Mundo's still in the top lane, throwing out trophies. There is a 10 CS advantage right now for the Olaf. We said that he'll have a little bit more of a better time.
Man, he's getting hit by guitars.
Are they guitars? Ukuleles, maybe?
Yeah, it's getting like the banjo. Banjo to the head.
Definitely wombats.
Yeah. Oh my god.
They're everywhere.
Aren't a wombat. Boomerang over the top here as the barrel's just trying to clear out this minion wave. Swiper. Oh, misses the cannon. And now Swiper just wants to give Lloyd a kiss. I don't know. That was a bit strange.
So what he wants to do is try and force Lloyd under his turret so that cannon creep dies. But Lloyd is unblinking in how he wants to reinforce this freeze. And in fact, now actually reverses it, shoves it out nice and hard. And we'll see whether we get standard lanes back.
Should be noted that the Chiefs have done a good job getting a lot of significant damage onto this top tier tower. Pretty much a stiff breeze before that one will go down. They should now reverse their 2v2 down to the bottom side.
Have a pulverize.
He's got nothing.
For fun.
He actually had a Swiffer in the wings. So
Zippy?
They have.
He's got Wildcard as well. There's 007X.
So now what they need to do is they need to take Radier and Ejim and move them down to the bottom side of the map.
They need to not fight here. G4 coming up. He has his ultimate available. 007X is also there. Teleport is about to become available for the Chiefs top laner, who's still down bottom. He's got double Duran's blade, so not in a bad spot this time around. And look at how much night and day the Chiefs are when they're able to play the map as opposed to Bangkok Titans.
It's just really important right now because the top side of the map is pushing. I'm going to keep hammering on this. The Chiefs need to pull the trigger on Dragon now. Yes, Warlock does have his teleport available, so he can be there, but there's a window of opportunity where they can just collapse with their 5 people on the map because Swiper is still down here, take the Dragon, and then Olaf can get back to the top side of the map without burning his teleport in time because the top wave is so far forward.
Yeah, definitely agree. They'll be able to pick up the blue buff, see whether they do pull the trigger. Dive is also the other possibility. It's a lot higher risk, but it means that Mundo has to burn the teleport to get there.
And they don't have to expect a 5v5 on the Dragon Pit.
So we'll see whether that is the call. Looks like it's going to be. Chiefs want to go for it.
Okay, level 4 Alistar.
Yeah, Moss actually already starting this one up. Takes so much damage from that undertow as Radier jumps over the top. Lloyd, he's just being left there as first blood goes down for Radier. Lloyd also very, very low as Warlock. He's found his way in. Boomerang over the top of the Chiefs.
This is dangerous.
Here comes
he's
the
round
stun.
the side. The 4-man Sejuani ultimate. Everyone getting torn to shreds. Radier just Goomba stomps the Sivir. Ejim with the double knock up. There's the barrel as Warlock's going to die. It's Mario here for Radier as 007X trying to get everything he can. Ejim and Spooks Oh my goodness, that
Diana.
headbutt was incredible. But G4, is he going to be able to do it? There are so many wards.
Radier does have rocket jump available to him.
Yeah, he's trying to get away. There's the ultimate. He jumped out away from it.
Oh, he walked back in.
He just missed the flash.
Okay, so in the end, it comes out even. The Chiefs are slightly ahead simply because they got the first blood there. But still, that call. In the Dark Passage game, they did exactly the same thing. They went for the tower dive as opposed to the dragon objective.
And I want to say that it did come out a little bit more in the Chiefs' advantage because Mundo had to teleport,
TP,
and
so
all of a sudden that lane is pushed so far up, and he has no ultimate for a couple of seconds. And what that means is this Olaf that we've just continued to talk about, he's gone with an undertow max. He's such a bully in lane. Probably can't approach farm, so now the pressure's on Bangkok Titans to start the Dragon
No,
up.
I completely agree with that assessment right there, especially because Swiper still has his TP available, so as long as they hold that wave, they have the 4v5 advantage as soon as Warlock appears on the top side.
But Swiper pushes it out. Looks like he wants to get busy around the map. Frustration everywhere.
I just threw a pen.
My goodness.
G4 is 2 levels above Swiffer. Rady got 3 kills. That's another important thing to note, where it was 007X that picked up a lot of the gold in the last fight. And the Chiefs.
The thing I want to talk about here for the Chiefs is the fact that last game, 007X was the one that got a lot of the early gold, and he was able to snowball that money so effectively for the Bangkok Titans. See whether this game he can do the same thing.
I mean, the fact of the matter is that Radier, your AD carry, is going to be your big front runner right now, but that's how this composition works. I mean, it's about creating space.
So funny.
It's a ukulele. It's about creating space for Tristana.
As Spooks is being cut off here. G4 is heading up. 007X has the ultimate, can just nail him if he wants to.
Another barrel goes down. 007X doesn't know quite where to go, neither does G4. Body slam over the wall. And it looks like the Chiefs will just wander away.
Point is, Radier's fed, he has the gold, but the Bangkok Titans have answers to kill him.
Huge tanks. And they also have this huge beefy front line where in the end probably doesn't even matter because he's just going to have to put so many bullets into the Sejuani, into the Mundo at this stage of the game.
Well, G4 searching for Swiffer. Level 10 to level 8. How did Diana's... They
Teleport.
get more... They just get more farm.
It's not Mordekaiser.
It's teleport, man.
Seems to be a pretty good summon as well for this situation, but Moss hanging around, trying to find some opportunity for a hook. 007X walks over a ward. The Chiefs understand that they probably need to be careful.
And Spooks is the one that really needs to be careful right now because once again, he's getting a little far behind. And 007X's presence on the map has been much more efficient. As Moss goes forward, looking for a hook. And look at how much pressure there is on the Chiefs.
Yeah, G4 just waiting here.
Once again, Lulu cannot follow Diana around the map. So as long as Diana's in Fog of War, bad news for the Lulu.
Sees whether he can grab himself the elusive Rift Scuttler. 007X nails it. Pretty intense battle there as Moss takes an auto attack. Radier doing some damage now, but hasn't been able to put any pressure on this lane. Raptor Sense is popped by 007X. Might see that there's a ward in that little brush.
Wow, just the confidence of the Bangkok Titans right now. So effectively, because G4 is so far ahead, so hold on.
Yeah, G4 turns it right around on a Swiffer. Wildcard's already down.
Egypt's
Moonfall's there. Ejim finds his way in. It's one knock-up. Swiper makes his way in. Radier sort of cornered over to the side. It's a single-person ultimate as he rocket jumps, but G4's going to fall down. Radier looks like he's fine for now as Warlock is eventually going to take him out. Lloyd, what are you doing over there as he gets eliminated? Swiper picks up that kill. It's 2 for 1.
And we just demonstrated exactly what happened. Sure, Warlock did get rid of Radier, but he had to burn Flash, all these things. Olaf just runs at the AD carry, and there is nothing that Lloyd can do.
Helps that the AD carry, runs up the river on her own.
It's a little bit interesting.
Oh, the flash out of Swiffer.
Oh my goodness, over the top. There's
There's
007X gets knocked up. Double knockups there as he gets turned into a cute little critter.
Teleport.
Warlock, pretty difficult to deal with at the moment as the headbutt comes back. Ejim sacrifices himself, but G4 gets the kill.
So the Chiefs get the dragon, but they overreach slightly, and the Bangkok Titans, again, just snap that bear trap close.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, this was something that we said the Chiefs had done. They had overreached, tried to go with things, not really respected cooldowns, and 007X, he's 3-1-3, super tanky at this part of the game.
Oh my goodness, Radiant is getting destroyed. Tries to get the bomb on top of G4, but can barely break the shield.
And that's what I was talking about. You have a fed Tristana, but Bangkok Titans have so many tools to deal with that Tristana. Not just in their tanky frontline, but in their Diana pickup.
They got an extra 2 kills on that tool then, just like in a blink of an eye. Goes back, gets a boots 2, has already finished off the Nash's Tooth. As Lloyd is top lane, once again, still needs to respect this Olaf pick.
Not going to be able to get any free time with this tower, that's for sure.
So what the Bangkok Titans are doing right now is that since the Dragon objective is down, they're going to try to siege up that top tier tower. So that's why they're rotating their AD carry there. Although, like you said, Lloyd does have to be incredibly careful because that's a very long lane to run down should Swiper choose to start chasing.
And what I want to really point out right now is Bangkok Titans have the lead, and the reason that is so impressive is because it's equal in kills and they don't have a turret. So there is so much standing gold on the map right now for the Bangkok Titans if they win one of their team fights, whereas the Chiefs, they're behind in CS in most of their lanes. The jungle isn't even close right now. AD carry 40 CS, even though Radiant has those 3 kills. So it's about how well the Chiefs, I guess, can try and push down structures and use Tristana's kit versus the ticking time bomb that once again is G4.
Swiper looking for the safety of his turret. Chiefs are going to sneak themselves
Lulu
out of
in trouble in mid lane.
Yeah, actually, Swiffer wild growth on himself. Lloyd doing a lot of damage. Flashes under the turret. Able to stay there and kill it while he's in there. Interesting.
And they're going to continue to push right now. Lloyd, Moss, they have the short lane.
Oh, G4 2-level advantage, trying to dive this turret. Doesn't really want to here against Swiper as he gets taken down to about a 3rd health.
But meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Bangkok Titans are continuing to push.
Oh, so are the Chiefs in the bottom side. This inner turret is in trouble. Lloyd takes 3/4 of that turret's health. They trade the inner in the bottom side, though.
But the difference is that the inner and the mid lane gives you so much more passive vision and map control.
So we have talked about this a little bit, the Chiefs' preference for taking outside turrets because they do like to set up the vision in the jungle, and they actually use it as a little bit of a trap. The problem is right now, I just don't think you trap the Bangkok Titans. They're like, haha, yeah, we wanted to fight you anyway. So the Chiefs really need to be careful with how they play this. They need to be careful in how they move around the map.
I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Pretty much that.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Can they just be the Rorschach of this tournament?
Oh, my goodness.
They're not. Chiefs, however, do hit back with another turret, so it is overall 3 turrets to 2, and Swiper successfully held off the Diana split push, which is good news for the Chiefs so far. Had a couple of shots from the turret to help him out, so, you know, maybe it will be a little bit different if G4 doesn't decide to do that. And Swiffer slowly catching up in levels in CS.
Wow. A thing that I want to comment on is Radier's build path. Just noticed that he completed the Infinity Edge, and that's not entirely out of left field from Tristana, but most of the time, at least in modern day, we see Tristana's looking for Blade of the Rune King. And especially when you're facing across from a Fed, Sejuani, and Mundo, a little bit interesting choice in itemization there.
Yeah. Sometimes they build a little bit like Kalista with the double attack speed first up.
Yeah.
Also gives her some sustain in her kit, which is good.
I just think it would have been the much more preferable option.
I think that Radiant cannot be in this top lane.
Not against G4. I mean, he's already learnt that lesson. Having said, not going to go for another dive. Ejim was hanging around.
I don't think G4 will care.
No.
I think he'll kill them both.
Yeah. Well, Ejim will take a little bit longer.
But if he takes care of the Tristana first... Oh my goodness. Okay, shows himself.
That was terrifying.
Yeah, and look at Ejim. Ejim's like, I don't even want to do this.
Look at Radier's face right now. He's like, what?
He's like, please, please no, please no. Is 3 going to be enough? Not when it's 3v3.
Here we go.
Ejim
Skirmish.
thought out.
Yeah, able to get the headbutt back onto G4. That is ridiculous. That Pale Cascade. Just one proc. So much damage. That's a shield.
So this is the problem with the double teleport right now. We said that they're not really that much late game damage. Diana definitely getting to that point. So the Chiefs need to figure out how they take the fights without Diana being there. That's the key. See if you can shove her around the map a little bit. Or better yet, keep Olaf to try and occupy her.
And that's the big key thing. Olaf to occupy her. You can't have Radier here. He's in danger. Like, Egypt's not going to save this Tristana should G4 realize that he can just murder both of them.
Well, Black Cleaver now completed here for Swiper in the top lane. So the Olaf starting to get to a point where he's going to be a bit of trouble. That being said, Warlock doesn't have a lot of armor to shred through as he's gone for that Spirit Visage.
They pulled the trigger on this.
Yeah, Moonfall down onto Radier here as he jumps on top of G4. Buster shots there, headbutts back as well. Here comes the teleport. Spooks has found his way in. G4 in trouble, has to use the flash to get out. There's another Hugh over the wall as Warlock, he's going to flash as well. Swiffer's here. The flash over, double knock up from Spooks as G4 trying to run away. Not a lot of mana just left, but the Chiefs, they can't find it. And the rest of Bangkok Titans are around to flash up, rise onto Moss. Radier gets exhausted. The three-man ultimate from 007X, but the Chiefs still going. Radier very, very low. The teleport in from G4 Chiefs. They do manage to pick up the first kill. They grab it onto Radier, but he falls at the same time. Swiffer slowed down by the banjos, or the ukuleles. The Bangkok Titans still on the chase.
G4 is coming around the side now.
Oh, flash forward from Swiffer, looks for Lloyd. The heel's down, the Ignite's going to do it. That was a pretty long-range Glitter Lance.
Had the help picks on him, and all of a sudden they want G4 again.
Yeah.
Spooks is...
That was almost disaster, however, for the Chiefs. I was just looking at that. The only thing I was looking at is the timer. I was like, this fight is happening at 19 minutes and 48 seconds. If the Chiefs lose too many members here, that's going to be a free Baron to whoever walks out of this team fight alive. Fortunately, everyone was low health across the board, that we're not going to have that too big of a snowball over this team fight, but that could have gone sideways real quick.
And it was actually a 2-for-1, so you say it was bad news for the Chiefs, but realistically, they're falling 60 CS behind on their AD carry. At some point, they had to pull the trigger on it, because G4 was zoning 3 people towards the top of the map, and they got the teleport out of G4, which means that all of a sudden there's a little bit less pressure because you're dealing with a Mundo, not dealing with this Diana that's a monster.
Yeah, some more wiggle room bought by the Chiefs. Rift Scuttler. Goodness, that is a very, very frightened Rift Scuttler.
And once again, the Chiefs just need to pull the trigger on this push, see if they can send enough members towards that side of the lane and deal with Mundo and grab another turret, because Dragon, not really a good objective for them to look at, because they won that last team fight on a split situation by the skin of their teeth. And this time, you give an area for the Bangkok Titans to group up around, it's going to be much harder for them to execute.
And again, their composition, it thrives in taking down the standing gold and whittling away down there with the Tristana siege, so I completely agree. There's no reasons to face check into a 5v5.
Well, Dragon falls down from the Bangkok Titans. Swiper was on the bottom side of the map. He's going to rethink his decision.
But once again, this just needs to be, okay, let's rotate people. Let's use our superior pushing to see if we can get something done to the Mundo. His wave clear still isn't great. He hasn't got that much armor. He should be able to take damage if they set up correctly for this.
They're just trading objectives here as the outer does fall on the bottom side, but inner turret going down in the top lane goes pretty quickly as well, as Radier has got a lot of damage. Whimsy on top of him as well. That is a dead turret. So the Chiefs, they trade 1-for-1, and the gold now down to about nothing.
But it's a superior 1-for-1 because they traded an outer tower for a top inner tower. So definitely in the Chiefs' favor.
And the other thing is that when the Bangkok Titans do that, this is a demonstration of Bangkok Titans not understanding who their split pusher is. Because once again, they left Lloyd to take the turret. Just leave G4 there. Get Lloyd back with the team, because the longer they do this, the more the map opens up. And eventually, Swipe is just going to run at Lloyd, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 turret train, but the Olaf's going to train wreck the AD carry. They need to group up with the AD, and they've pulled the trigger here. This is a much better move out of Bangkok Titans. They have all the power right now. Make a power play.
Well, 22-minute Baron. Definitely an interesting decision, as is G4's item build. Looks like he's going towards either 2 pieces of the Abyssal Scepter and the Zhonya's Hourglass, or it could be a Rabbiden's Death Cap.
I just really want to quickly touch on the Baron decision here. It's a very good play because it's risk versus reward. So if you do the Baron, it's not ward, you get it for free. If they face check you, because the Bangkok Titans are stronger now, they want that team fight anyway. So that's the decision making. So even though they don't get it there, I still agree with Jake. It's absolutely the correct call to make in that circumstance.
And you force the Chiefs to react to you. Bangkok Titans look so much better when they're in the driver's seat manipulating you around the map. And they don't do that like the Chiefs by like sneakily taking things. They're like the brute force. Like, we are here, come get us if you want. As I said, it's almost why the Chiefs don't want to trap them anywhere. And once again, because of the Mundo, because of the Sejuani, how tanky these guys are at this point of the game. They can tank a couple of Baron shots, and it doesn't really matter. Sejuani's already got a frozen heart.
It's just ridiculous. Kindle Gem there as well. So 30% cooldown reduction.
That's
Actually,
the
40%.
game maker.
Yeah.
The
40%.
Kindle Gem.
Yeah, Kindle Gem. 10% cooldown reduction. I just like maxing out cooldown reduction for Froskurinn.
I just love how you said it. Spawn's like, hey, I've got the Frozen Heart and the Kindle Gem.
You got to defend all the different rocks.
Yeah, well.
Radiant takes both ends of that boomerang blade.
They're going to answer back with it. What the hell was that damage?
That was double crit.
Static Shiv on a crit proc.
Yes.
Oh, the ultimate flashed out of by Radiant.
So that was Static Shiv and then a secondary crit. So we got the first guaranteed and another one on the back end of it. And all of a sudden, Radiant has to go back to base. Gragas is low in mana, and they can just set up around the Baron area one more time.
Yeah, and even though the Bangkok Titans, they don't get the kill, they get the tower for sure. And like you said, denial of that Baron vision.
And it is the Rabbidan's death cap finished up for G4, so he's a monster at this stage of the game.
He's also got teleport, so the Bangkok Titans, again, going back to that power play around the Baron pit. G4, if he pulls multiple resources of the Chiefs to deal with him, he can easily take a free objective and buy his team time to dance around the Baron pit. If he kills someone, then they have the 4v5 advantage on the pit.
And this is the other reason I love double teleport on your assassin so much, because Mundo can tank the Baron. He's going to get his health back through the ultimate anyway, and all of a sudden it isn't your top laner split pushing who has all these tanky stats. It's your fed assassin in the bottom lane dealing with this Olaf, who is so key to the Chiefs' overall game plan, and Mundo's just with his team fulfilling his role as the meat shield very well. Although I don't like his Sunfire cape, if I'm going to be really honest with you.
Oh, don't be too honest. 1,000 gold is the lead here for the Bangkok Titans as we attempt to ignore the Sunfire cape pickup. G4 making his way down to continue his split push. Swiper's still here. The Chiefs thinking of answering with a gank in the bottom lane. That could spell Baron.
It's a really inefficient way to build tank stats, especially at this point of the game. Orlando and Omen is going to be much more cost efficient, especially across from a Tristana, because you'll be able to slow down her attack speed other than the Sunfire. You typically itemize it for lane just because the early
It's a pushing ability.
That's the other
and
thing.
Warlock's got his W.
Is to control the creep wave itself. So that's the comment about the Sunfire cape and why it's very odd. Not just, I mean, first item, that's okay, but second item, you would much rather look for randoms at this point in the game.
Just get a Warmog, augment him even further.
Yeah, with the Spirit Massage Warmog,
Spirit
synergizes so well.
Yeah, and then you can just go Thornmail and completely deal with what they have at 3 items, whereas right now, he needs to probably get a little bit more HP because his HP items are so inefficient. And then see if they can go anywhere from there.
Put me in, coach.
Well, at the moment, Radiant going towards what looks like a Last Whisper as his third item. Probably wants QSS pretty quickly.
I just feel like instead of the ice shards that happen when he hits them with the ukulele, that it should be splinters.
Yeah, probably.
Just really disorienting to look at.
Although you do want a universal sign for someone getting slowed. I do understand what you mean, though. Swan doesn't. He's shaking his head. Doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, but two-man Baron is happening. All right, now Mundo uses the ultimate. Chiefs have no idea that this is going on. In fact, Swiffer's doing Wolves.
Oh, Spooks has the inkling.
007X.
Yeah, there's the pink ward over the side. Spooks is going to be here. No smite in the pit at the moment as 007X trying to make his way around.
They back away. Now there's a window for the Chiefs potentially to be able to get a team fight. No Mundo ultimate. He's half health. 007X chunked out a little bit as well. See whether they go for a dragon or just to push down the mid lane.
That was a bit of a time waster there for the Bangkok Titans.
They've caught G4.
Makes his way down.
G4's caught him.
Has G4 ever been caught this game? I don't think that's going to happen on Diana. Kill 4 people, that's fine. That's the fastest cow I've ever seen. Flashes into the headbutt, pulverizes. There's the Wild Growth Swiffer right in there. Radiant, interesting positioning, but it's a decent cast. The 3-man ultimate off the backside as well for 007X. Radiant not going to be hit by the death sentence, but not getting any damage in this fight. Egypt just trying to peel, but the Tristana cannot get any auto attacks in this fight. Swiper lasted so long, but is now going to fall to the Diana, and Swiffer trying to escape. The Whimsy's going to be there, hit by a Banjo. Raider over the top. Is he going to be able to kill him? He is! and now they're trying to turn it around. Moss, he's going to get taken out. Swiffer, Radier with the jump on top of the Mundo as 007X gets in there. The jump out from Radier, the flash from Warlock is going to secure it as Swiffer has to be careful. The shield, the double kill, and the ace for the Chiefs.
And on the back half of it, the Chiefs catch a lucky break because Radier finally remembers how to right-click. Just walk down the ramp.
Auto attack to a position on that little ledge, man.
Yeah, they just didn't have the vision control they needed over the ledge, and because he was chunked out so early in the fight, didn't want to make it happen. Let's take another look at it. They go hard on G4, and they have to use the knock up there to try and CC him, and he makes the right call. Go on Radier. And from here, it's actually the Swiper Swiffer show. They kite back so well with that line CC, the slows. You can see chunking out member after member. And honestly, Egypt just shouldn't go in there. They can continue to move back. Look how much work the Glitterlands and the Axes are doing. And finally, as they round the corner, bad teleport here from G4. He was way too low. Radier was actually petrified and then remembered that he has no health and got the resets he needed to clean up the back end of the fight.
That was an interesting build to stop that one. Did like it though. Definitely aggressive. Moss is going to die. See you later, Moss. Welcome back to the game, ladies and gentlemen, as 007X now caught out of position. Radier gets single man ultimated. The barrel of the bomb, sorry, not going to be enough, but he flashes into the auto attack. Double kill for Radier. Lloyd, what are you doing as he gets jumped at by Radier? The Crescent slash just avoided by the Chiefs as Moonfall comes in. Spooks gone too far. The Wild Growth's there though. Boomerang gets him on the way back.
That was a free Baron if the Chiefs would just take it.
Oh,
wow.
that double knock up onto Lloyd and G4. So much damage now destroyed. Swiffer getting all the work done as the shield's on top. Lloyd can get auto attacked as well as Radier is going ballistic in this fight. The Chiefs, they woke up, I think.
We've gone full Bangkok Titans. It's not about the objectives. They could have taken Dragon, they could have taken the tower, they could have taken Baron. They're sending a message.
Yeah, right now the Chiefs, they won the first game against the Bangkok Titans, playing this brawl-heavy style of League of Legends. They say, hey, let's just go back to it. Now they burst the base.
Yep, 20 seconds on all of the damage and the big tanky member in the top lane there as the inhibitor falls. And the Chiefs look at what they want to do next.
And look at this Olaf pick. It's bad now. It's going to get worse because he's 227 CS, 1, 2, and 7, but there's just no way that Lloyd can position against him.
He's starting... We're dancing on the desk right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Spawn was just getting so enthusiastic with his hand actions. I just needed to join in. That was so good, that clearing out of the minion wave, by the way.
When raising your koalas to do it safely, keep the koalas at an even angle when putting them up into the air.
Don't raise koalas yet, guys. This game is so far from over.
No. You get those koalas and you raise them. You sit them on your head for the rest of this series.
Bangkok Titans, once again, going with a Baron call, it looks like. They still think they're the stronger 5v5 team. They started up.
Okay, here we go.
Teleport available out of Swiper.
Naturally, the big ultimate to watch is going to be that Glacial Prison.
Jim, he's going in, looking for the fight. There's a double knockup, but only the cow in the pit at the moment. They're trying to burst down the Baron, and they'll get it as Radier, he's been shielded up. Everyone's in the pit. The explosion's coming down. Death Sentence on Radier, able to get out the blaze back. Radier just not dead. How is he still alive? This is ridiculous from the Chiefs. The double kill for Swiffer. Mundo is able to take down the Olaf, but Lloyd still at full health. And every member of the Chiefs is low. They need to run away.
I don't know how any of them are alive.
What just happened?
That looked like disaster for the Chiefs right there. But Spooks on the run. 3 members of the Chiefs should escape with their lives, and only 2 Barons survive for the Bangkok Titans on Warlock and Lloyd.
And the really big thing from that is that now for a couple of minutes, there is nowhere for the Bangkok Titans to fight. They're a bad siege composition, so the big break gets put on. Let's take a look at it. Ejim goes very early and Radier gets hooked.
Double hook
from here, there's a 7-1-6 Lulu putting shields on him. And what that means is that Radier still hasn't taken damage. Swiffer, once again, able to give him a shield, I think, on the back end. Actually doesn't, gives it all to Swiper. And Swiper's able to take over. Swiffer got a little bit too close to Lloyd, and the team fight fell apart, but now he's 9-2-9. And this Lulu, we said if anyone can control an assassin, it is a fed control mage. Welcome to the show, Swiffer. Probably going to have to carry it from here.
3-item Lulu as well. That is a cup, a big purple stick, and a hat. and he's doing a lot of damage.
I love it when Lulus choose to go for flat AP versus the penetration or the Lich Bane style, simply because it empowers your wild growth and your shield to have a much larger base on that versus actually looking for the damage. I call it the faker Lulu versus the pawn Lulu.
Yeah.
And this is the pawn Lulu.
And I'm going to call it right now. This should be a 6-item Void Staff. He should go Deathcap Lich Bane before he even thinks about it.
Yep.
Because they're not going to win games off the back of him team fighting well. They're going to win games off the back of him making the Olaf huge, making the Lulu huge. Swiper might be a little bit caught here.
He is massive.
He's huge.
Can he get caught? That's a sort of a G4 situation.
I just don't think that they have the damage available to kill him for how close he is to the tower, especially if his ultimate's up and available.
Yeah,
even
and
if they
Ghost.
CC lock him, he's just going to walk out of it.
Yeah. And Radier now on split pushing duty. He hits turrets real hard.
The problem is if G4 has his teleport up and available, Radier's dead. Like, and G4 has the TP, so if he ever goes towards that Tristana, he's just gone.
Yeah, and they're actually going to try and trade objectives here. You feel that Radier probably needs to get back to base.
Interesting.
Well, I actually don't disagree with it because he's waiting for his Blade of the Ruined King. He's super close to it and also has a QSS right now. So tanks probably need to be careful because Radier's going to be able to shred them at this stage of the game. Spooks wants in.
Yeah, there's the flash body slam. Ejim comes in as well. Gets right onto the back line as Lloyd with a decent spell shield there. G4
Radier
still yet to make his way in. The choke point not working out so well for the Chiefs, but Radier getting the auto attacks down. The Bangkok Titans now on the run. No Q to land.
The
from
Glacial
G4.
Prison is still available.
Yeah, once again, 007X is super patient with that ability. Will not throw it out willy-nilly. Chiefs burn a lot to get in the fight. Not much eventuates.
But that's why we see the Chiefs being so cautious and not just funneling into that. That looks like a very clear victory for the Chiefs, but they know that ultimate hasn't been thrown yet. We can't funnel into a choke point.
They also know that there's an inhibitor down in the mid lane. So Ejim running really far forward. They're trying, trying to get to this turret to get some more pressure down before the Bangkok Titans can reset.
I love watching Alistair run really quickly because he honestly, when he stops, looks like he's tired.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then if he uses an ability, he looks upset about it.
Oh, another
There's
hit.
sentence onto Radier. There's the cooldown down of that QSS. Spooks takes a lot of damage as well.
Dreams were almost dashed right there.
It's really dangerous to chase the Chiefs lineup, though. I'm going to say it one more time. Glitterlance, Undertow, just great abilities at being able to slow people down and funnel them into specific areas. As the Chiefs haven't given up on this, they probably should.
Well, Radier is going to get tagged. There's the Moonfall. Oh my goodness, the 4-man ultimate barrel to try and disengage with the shutdown onto Radier. Now the Chiefs trying to get out of this as Swiper is bleeding health. Lloyd picks up the cow. It's 3 people dead on the side of the Chiefs, and they overstayed the welcome.
Oh, but here comes the teleport from G4. He's looking for Swiffer.
He's looking for everyone here.
This is an ace. This is a game, Chiefs. Overcommit one more time. Another teleport.
Oh, Swiffer.
Just press B.
He's waiting. Oh, gets the kill onto Moss.
Does not matter.
He'll be happy about that.
That's GG.
They're trying to waste as much time as they possibly can. He's not going to be able to get over there, but the Bangkok Titans now pushing forward.
10 seconds on the Tristana, 10 on the Alistair. 4 members still standing for the Bangkok Titans, and it's all their damage. Maybe the creep waves will be against them, but they have a Mundo.
What a gorgeous flank from the Bangkok Titans, though. 007 flawlessly standing over to the side to find that counter engage, but Ejim going in.
Yeah, Radier trying to look for it as well here as Warlock continues to tank this one up. The shield's down. Lloyd, he's tanking a little bit too much as well as Ejim. He's just going to sacrifice his life. Swiper is still there, has the Ghost available, but they just don't have the men in order to defend, and they have to say goodbye to that inhibitor.
There was no reason to stay on the bottom turret. After Spooks had been chunked out, they didn't have the resources available to be able to fight that. An awesome ultimate out of 007X just meant that that team fight never in question.
Well, now it's going to be a free dragon here as well for the Bangkok Titans, evening that one out at 2 apiece. Baron going to be up in a minute's time as well, and the Bangkok Titans, now they have all of the momentum in this game. Swiffer with a huge creep wave to take down.
Gently,
unfortunately, he picked up the Void Stop.
Gently lower your koalas for a moment, because the Chiefs need to set up perfectly for this next Baron. If the Bangkok Titans get this game will continue to further crack wide open.
Yeah, they're feeling the koala pressure, something like that. Maybe
they really need Blade of the Ruined King. I wonder if Radier has it on this back.
He needed it
1,900 gold, I'd say so.
Probably like 15 minutes ago. That's the thing. We talked about this in the initial itemization of the Infinity Edge over the Blade of Ruin, especially because Sejuani was already 3-0-3 at that point, now 4-4-12.
Whoa, Lloyd is so big right now.
Yeah, Lloyd's capped out, has not gone for a defensive item. Does a lot of damage, and we said that he needs to because this team lacks damage.
Well, he's going to be able to do some of that.
Look at this cute little buddy system, though.
And they're starting up Baron straight away.
Yeah, Warlock's waiting in the wings now as well. Chiefs, they need to get some vision. You can see the two tanky members are over there. They actually do have a ward in the pit. Bangkok Titans are pulling away from it. Swiffer, there's the ultimate onto the Lulu and the Gragas, but maybe not his best one yet as Radier able to get in there with the Blade of the Ruin King. Massive knock up in the middle of this fight. Chiefs take down the first one. G4 does use the Zhonya's, but Radier is massive with the wild growth now. Jumping forward, actually to the side there is Lloyd.
Wow.
He's trying to get the work done. Flashes over the top, kiting like a god right here, but Swiper able to take him down. Moss doesn't land the death sentence. Swiffer somehow still alive, and Swiper is being massive. Moss may just fall down. Luden's Echo was ridiculously close. That is a 3-for-4, and the Bangkok Titans pull out ahead.
But
what is going on?
From a gold deficit, Ejim just saved that fight so hard, and on the back half of that, Lloyd. Incredible plays from both Sivir and Alistar. The initial engagement, it looked for sure that the Chiefs were caught out right behind the Baron pit. Here we go. Look at this Alistar. Ejim goes for it, and he's just creating space and time for Swiffer. Radier then crashes in. They've got him in a choke point. They start to layer down all of the damage. It looks so good for the Chiefs at this point. But Lloyd, look at this Sivir. Look at these mechanics.
And the only thing I'm going to question is, Radier, why did you jump forward? You are destroying the tanks in front of you. Just continue to play your game. You are the tank buster.
You outrange Sivir.
You outrange her. Why jump into her hitbox?
You do more damage if you're closer, don't you know that?
No, you don't.
We'll call it the benefit of hindsight at the moment.
No, that's
Rush
not
of blood
hindsight.
to the head.
Yeah, that might have been a better explanation.
Welcome to the LPL, Radier.
Yeah. Well, OPL pretty similar as far as that is concerned.
But Chiefs can't afford to have many more of those fights. Now they don't have their teleport available. Means that the bottom inhibitor going to be under fire.
Which means that the Bangkok Titans just
pulled
need
the
to
trigger.
be patient.
Yeah, on the hunt has been popped here. 007X looking to try and get in there. Swiper, he's blowing the ultimate now as the Bangkok
Wow.
Titans. That massive three-man ultimate as well as Swiffer able to get little answers across the top. Warlock knocked into the team, not exactly where he wants to be. Is Radier. He's going to get stunned for now, but is able to stay safe. Warlock in a whole host of trouble as the boomerang across the team is a massive worry for the Chiefs, but they're managing to hold this one off at the moment. Dark Passage is there for G4 to take, and he will grab it.
There's no reason to fight. As I was saying, Bangkok Titans, you just need to be patient. Just wait for that super creep wave to hit onto the Nexus towers and play the two pressure points, bottom wave and Baron.
G4 going again.
Yep, Swiffer gets around the side.
They start up the Baron. Swiper's in the base. The Chiefs do know.
Swiper with no teleport as well. Swiffer trying to get some work done, of course. Still some low members. The turret is going to fall down on the Nexus, but look at this Baron gets destroyed by Lloyd.
And now you have to get out, Chiefs.
And for
Now
the
they're on
next
defensive duty.
4 minutes, the Chiefs cannot make any map movements.
Unless it's towards super creeps funneling into their base.
They're about to
Even
be
then.
Baroned up super creeps.
As long as they're just at the front door.
Yeah.
They can move sort of just out of their living room at this point. Thankfully, Inhibitor is going to respawn. May just quickly fall as the Bangkok Titans have a pretty open door to move in there.
Thornmail picked up for the Olaf. I'm going to question an item that probably shouldn't be questioned, but the Spirit Visage, really don't like it. Needs a Frozen Heart and needs to have a second damage item. And the best second damage item on Olaf right now is the thing that builds out a Hexbreaker that I always forget.
More of Malmortius.
More of Malmortius.
The Maw.
Yeah, just because of the way the passive works with Olaf's passive means that he becomes this juggernaut when he's on low health. And Bangkok Titans now with that Baron buff going to stream into the base.
So many swords on this Sivir too.
They need to just give up this inhibitor. If they fight for this and die, game over. Give the inhibitor up, live to fight another day.
Win the team fight, win the game.
That's if they can. Moon falls down as there's a flash out from Swiffer. Spook's going incredibly low, but no one dead just yet. Radiant is able to flash his way to relative safety as Moss. He's going to get turned into a little critter, but Lloyd, he's going to deal with Swiper. The Bangkok Titans still looking for more. Ejim so incredibly low. Inhibitor falls down. One turret to go for the Bangkok Titans. They are so close to this Nexus. Radiant needs to put in the hero play. Low health bars on the side of the Bangkok Titans. They do need to be careful as Ejim, he's going to get critted to death from Lloyd. Spooks as well. This is almost going to be a potential pentakill late for Lloyd, and it is. The Sivir completely wrecks the Chiefs. And the Nexus is going to fall.
Sivir goes absolutely bonkers in that game. Lloyd, with a Zephyr instead of Boots, is able to just put out all the damage they need. And in the end, the Tristana that had all these tools to be able to get going just wasn't able to get it done.
The patience and the confidence coming out of the Bangkok Titans. The Chiefs were in control for that game, but they overreach, and the Titans remind everyone, do not give us that second chance. We will pull the trigger, we will fight you, and we will win.
Don't jump on our AD carry. He doesn't like it when you try and jump on him, man. He might turn around and kill you.
Yeah, and he did, and his play, his kite was so fantastic, especially around that Baron. That was just so impressive out of Lloyd. That whole game, the laning phase, how they played it out in team fights. This guy is just so good.
And you know, we talked about the Chiefs would probably change it up, that they would look for a macro type of strategy, that they would look to lane swap to try to beat the Bangkok Titans around the map. They take the double teleport strategy on G4, and they're able to make it work, survive out long enough, and then come back from behind. Again, the Chiefs overreaching and then immediately punished.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, once again, got to shout out 007X. His ultimates, maybe apart from one, were really good that game. And the one that he missed, they still won the team fight because of Lloyd's fantastic positioning. So really shout out to the Sejuani player, able to make it work in the current meta, and the Chiefs are reeling. They're down 0-2. Need a reverse sweep, Atlas, if they're going to make it through to the world stage. But right now, Bangkok Titans look like they've got them beat everywhere.
Yep, channel some Invictus gaming here, or maybe even look back to the winter qualifier for last year's Worlds qualifier, which is what happened to them by Legacy. And look, Ejim's there. He knows exactly how to do it. Might be able to talk our Chiefs through that situation. But the Bangkok Titans were just so beautiful.
You need to reach real deep for that.
Look, I got the information's there. May as well just yell it out. But we do have PastryTime and Rusty waiting alongside to take us through that game.
Thank you very much, Atlas. And I don't know if we can take you through it. That game was